When you think of Switzerland, the stunning Swiss Alps, velvety smooth chocolates, high-quality products and services, and its banks may come to mind. But there's more to this country than its breathtaking natural beauty and scenic views. Switzerland boasts the highest wealth per adult in the world, with Swiss residents having assets averaging over $500,000. The country is so affluent that 800,000 millionaires live there, despite having a population of fewer than 9 million people, roughly the same as London's population. In Switzerland, 1 in every 8 adults is a dollar millionaire. In layman's terms, Switzerland is uber rich. However, Switzerland hasn't always been this prosperous. In the 19th century, poverty, hunger, and no job opportunities drove many Swiss people to seek their fortunes elsewhere, particularly in North and South America. But today, Swiss citizens enjoy a high standard of living, high-quality healthcare, good education, and overall well-being. So, how did Switzerland, a landlocked country sandwiched in the heart of Europe with no oil, no gold, no diamonds, or any natural minerals, not even a large population for cheap labor, access to trade routes, or a seacoast, become one of the wealthiest countries in the world? Let me tell you how Switzerland got so rich. Switzerland's economic prosperity has been several years in the making. And though people often attribute its financial success to the banking system, several other factors have contributed to its growth as well. To fully understand the origin of Switzerland's economic evolution, we must look at a pivotal moment in its history: the establishment of the Federal Constitution in 1848. The 1848 Federal Constitution highly promoted peaceful methods of conflict resolution. While internal conflicts did not entirely vanish after that, disagreements and issues were consistently addressed as per the guidelines of the Constitution. This move helped the Swiss Confederate remain much more peaceful and stable than other regional countries. And you know what? This period of peace and stability allowed the Swiss people to focus all their energy and resources on developing their economy. And, despite having few natural resources, Switzerland was one of the first countries to embrace early industrialization. This decision had a profound impact, leading to remarkable economic growth in the late 19th and early 20th centuries, what most people call the Swiss miracle. During the 16th and 17th centuries, Switzerland saw an influx of Protestant refugees known as Huguenots, who would play an important role in Switzerland's industrialization. About 3 centuries ago, roughly 250,000 of them embarked on perilous journeys. Guided by escape agents through treacherous snowy alpine terrains, they covertly traveled in cargo ships across seas, all while evading the king's agents determined to retain the invaluable resources these refugees embodied. The Huguenots, initially accepted in Catholic France, were eventually driven out due to religious persecution. Their arrival in Switzerland was significant. Entire village populations nearly doubled in a short span because of this influx. These refugees were not just any group of people. Many Huguenots were skilled in trade and craftsmanship. They introduced new techniques and had connections to resource-rich markets. They ushered in the art of watchmaking to the French-speaking regions of Switzerland. In the German-speaking areas, they introduced silk and cotton processing. These industries, particularly textiles and watchmaking, became crucial pillars of the nation's industrial growth, primarily attributed to the Huguenots' influence. But before the onset of full-scale industrialization, Switzerland's economy was already showing signs of growth and innovation. The country experienced what is referred to as proto-industrialization, a precursor to full industrialization that revolved around cottage industries and a means of subcontracting work known as the putting out system. In this setup, traders, known as furgers, traveled the countryside, distributing raw materials to homes where goods were produced and then collecting the finished products. This system became a significant source of income in some Swiss regions. This cottage industry provided employment opportunities during winter when agricultural activities dwindled. Many found it a welcome supplement to their income, especially in areas where farming wasn't particularly lucrative. The textile industry was at the forefront of this industrial wave. Companies began innovating by developing machines to enhance textile mechanization. The need to color textiles also paved the way for the tar dye industry. which subsequently became the foundation for modern chemistry. Interestingly, some tar dyes were discovered to have medicinal properties, leading to the birth of the pharmaceutical industry in Switzerland. In terms of energy, the nation's rivers played a crucial role. The production of turbines, generators, and electric motors started, and Switzerland swiftly became a global leader in this sector, carving a niche for itself on the world stage. By the mid-19th century, following this industrial boom led by the textile sector, Switzerland ranked only second to England as the most industrialized nation in Europe. The growth and unification of Switzerland's economy was greatly aided by the development of a rail network that rapidly expanded as soon as the new constitution had been approved. These rail lines played a crucial role in progressing the country's economy by connecting various economic hubs, both local and foreign. In 1847, the first railroad connecting Zurich to Baden was opened. The visionary influence of the railway barons, notably exemplified by Alfred Escher from Zurich, led to the construction of railways through spirited competition among private entrepreneurs, rather than adhering to a central plan. The outcome was astonishing. An extensive web of small and medium-sized lines, although not precisely coordinated, spanned over 600 miles of track by 1860, and, remarkably, this figure doubled by 1876. Initially, the railways weren't centralized in a federal system, but in 1902, everything changed. The government stepped in and bought the 5 largest railway companies, uniting them under one entity known as the Swiss Federal Railways. Interestingly, this remarkable transport system has stood the test of time and evolved into one of the world's most advanced networks today, and a key player in the Swiss economy. To finance the railway construction, Alfred Escher, in 1856, founded one of Switzerland's largest and most successful banks, the Creditanstalt, presently known as Credit Suisse. After that, 6 additional prominent commercial banks emerged, but they mainly focused on huge investments, and this prompted leading reformers to advocate for the creation of smaller banks to provide credit for the general public. As a response to this growing need, the Swiss National Bank was founded in 1907, assuming the crucial responsibility of formulating the nation's monetary policy and issuing Swiss banknotes. Since then, the Swiss National Bank has played a crucial role in maintaining financial stability. In the 1950s, Switzerland shifted from an industrial to a service economy. Its financial sector started to flourish by offering confidential, and not always totally legal, services and protection to the wealthy. Swiss banks have been long featured in movies, especially when villains, spies, or mobsters want a discreet and secure hideaway for their wealth. But the preference for Swiss banks does not just stop on screen. These banks have always been a preferred choice for wealthy people looking to keep their money hidden and safe. Why? Because banks in Switzerland have a long history of bank secrecy, reaching back to the 1700s. They follow secrecy regulations that prohibit them from disclosing account holder details without the account holder's consent, unless the government is conducting a serious criminal or fraud investigation. This protection is the primary reason that makes Swiss bank accounts attractive to wealthy individuals who want to hide and protect their wealth from any danger. Switzerland also has strict anti-money laundering laws, which require depositors to show the legitimate source of their funds. So, if you're thinking of hiding money acquired through dubious dealings, Swiss banks won't provide a sanctuary for such actions. That aside, Switzerland's finance and banking sector continues to shine as one of the best globally, thanks to its remarkable stability, confidentiality, and expertise. With its strong regulations, a reputation for security, and a long-standing legacy of financial excellence, Switzerland remains the preferred destination for global investors and clients seeking reliable financial services. Likewise, this sector currently stands as a vital pillar of the Swiss economy, employing over 220,000 people and contributing over 10% to the country's GDP. Switzerland's expertise in fostering free trade also played a crucial role in boosting its trade sector. While many countries have only embraced free market systems in the past 2 to 3 decades, Switzerland has been a steadfast advocate of free markets as far back as 1874. With minimal cultivatable land and raw materials, Switzerland relied on its strategic location as a trade route to import raw materials and manufacture them into high-end products. And I'm not just talking about chocolate and clocks. Switzerland also has a strong and diverse export market, with pharmaceuticals, gems, chemicals, and machinery as major contributors. Switzerland is known for its relatively low corporate tax rates. In a 2019 study by BAK Economics, it was found that while companies in Munich faced a tax burden of 29.3% and those in Vienna 22.5%, companies in Basel, Switzerland, had a mere 11% tax burden. Such favorable tax conditions are prevalent in various cantons across Switzerland, Zug being a notable example. Initially, American companies were drawn to Zug, followed by Russian ones. While Switzerland's neutrality played a part in their decision, as it made business dealing simpler even when faced with embargoes from their home nations, the attractive tax structure was undeniably a significant factor. Commodity trading firms dominate Switzerland's business landscape, with the country standing as the world's leading commodity trading hub. Remarkably, a quarter of all global commodity trades are brokered through Switzerland. This unique business model, often termed transit trade, doesn't involve the physical entry of goods into the country. Instead, commodities are purchased in the exporting country and then sold worldwide. Only the capital passes through Switzerland, and around 550 of these trading firms operate in Switzerland, with the nation's neutrality being a driving factor for their presence. Beyond its neutrality and tax policies, Switzerland's impressive economic journey can also be attributed to its inheritance laws. These laws have shaped the financial destinies of countless families and left a lasting mark on the country's flourishing economy. In 2015, over $70 billion of inheritance wealth was inherited by residents in Switzerland. This amount represents the total value of assets, properties, and funds bequeathed to family members following the passing of their loved ones. In Switzerland, the inheritance laws have a concept known as forced heirship, which means that certain family members cannot be excluded from inheriting a portion of a person's estate, even if the deceased individual specified otherwise in their will or last testament. In many other countries, individuals have more freedom to distribute their wealth as they wish. But in Switzerland, the law ensures that specific relatives get a share of the inheritance. The law stipulates that, in the event of someone's passing, at least half of their estate must be allocated to their spouse or registered partner. From the remaining half of the estate, at least 75% has to go to the deceased's children or grandchildren. This helps to ensure that a significant portion of the wealth is passed on to the direct descendants, preventing an uneven distribution of wealth among close family members. Additionally, this type of inheritance law helps to protect family members, especially children and grandchildren, from falling into poverty. Of course, when they inherit a large part of their parents' or grandparents' wealth, this greatly improves their financial situation, giving them more stability and security for the future. In other words, it acts as a safety net, ensuring that the family's younger generations have a better chance of a secure and comfortable life. And of course, Switzerland owes all its economic achievements to a rich legacy of political stability. By maintaining a stable and predictable political environment, the country fostered a favorable business climate, attracting both local and foreign investments. Switzerland operates as a federal republic with a unique system of direct democracy, which allows its citizens to actively participate in shaping the laws and policies of the country. Thanks to this governing structure, Switzerland has managed to maintain its neutrality in international conflicts and foreign wars. Impressively, despite having a sizable and highly trained army, Switzerland has not engaged in any conflicts since 1815, following the signing of the Treaty of Paris. This is quite remarkable, considering it was situated amidst 2 world wars. By remaining impartial and avoiding direct involvement in major conflicts, Switzerland was able to prevent the economic devastations that affected some of its European neighbors. This lack of war-related disruptions created a stable foundation for economic activities, enabling businesses to operate smoothly without significant interruptions. Most importantly, the stability enabled Swiss entrepreneurs and the government to allocate their resources toward the development of the country's industry and trade, instead of using them to resolve military conflicts. To date, Switzerland's neutral stance remains a core element of its foreign policy, enabling it to enjoy political stability, economic prosperity, and significant diplomatic influence.